Congrats on the win, Revanth. You are 2-0, number two in the standings, number two in the power rankings. You scored another nice total last week. You won on the score of 129 to 117 against JJ Phoenix Rising. Every year you're an early favorite, but you haven't won a championship since 2016. What makes this year different?
Yeah, past few years, I feel like when I won my championship in 2016, that was such a long time ago. I really followed what other people were saying. I didn't really know football at the time. I kind of just followed the trends and just did what people said. And back in those days, that was a Mickey. All those rings were Mickey Mouse, realistically. No one knew what they were doing. No one knew they were gonna like. People were making stupid trades. And I kind of followed that same pattern over this past few years. I think starting last year, I kind of changed it up, but like in the past, I would just go with what trends people were saying. I wouldn't really look into like teams and like situations and how players would play out. I kind of yeah, I would just go with the trends. And honestly, that's not the way you want to play fantasy football because everyone has an opinion. Some people hate players, some people love certain players. So I think the way to play fantasy football is to really look into the analytical numbers of how players fare in certain situations. I guess going back to Ankif, this is maybe his new master version of his formula might work out this year. But I think digging deeper into the numbers, looking into situations, and really going for the guys that I believed in. I think I started pretty good last year and had an unfortunate end last year, but obviously that's old news. And this year I've been looking pretty good so far. So yeah.
All right, Ankit.
Yeah, so looking at your team, it's looking to be really encouraging. And I was wondering, yeah, I think you had a great waiver pickup this week with Jawan Jennings. I'm wondering, will we see you being active at all, on the trade market, with certain pieces on your bench?
Yeah. I feel like my bench kind of been lacking this year, honestly. I have Montgomery on my bench right now. He's been really good. But I mean, other than him, there's not really been anyone that's been even valuable like as a throw-in for a trade. So picking up Juwan Jennings is really a priority this week for me. Obviously with Debo being injured for a couple of weeks, he's poised to be pretty good as the second wide receiver in the offense. So yeah, I Jawan Jennings is obviously a player that I'm not going to really ever play given my wide receiver depth. So I definitely am going to be looking for trades for players for teams that don't have the wide receiver depth. Obviously this year, so many players have gone down due to injury this past week. So yeah, I'm gonna be looking around for sure, scouting teams that have dropped in wide receiver depth and reaching out to them.
All right, anyone else have questions? All right.
Hi.
All right.
Hi.
I got one.
We'll go
I'll go
Kirk
Kirk
first.
first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is your waiver wire strategy moving forward? What do you like about the last 2 weeks? What are you going to change?
Yeah. So last week, I think it was pretty clear. Like our draft, like our league members, they're pretty sharp. So a lot of the popular players, J.K. Dobbins and Zay Likely and such, they were already picked up. So there was not really that much to do in the waivers last week. This week, obviously, a ton of players went down, but I think it's really important. I kind of mentioned this in my opening spiel, like looking at players and situations and seeing are they really poised to have an impact on the team. So for example, like a player like Carson Steele or whatever, or Samaj P. on the Chiefs, and they also signed Kareem Hunt. Do I really feel comfortable overspending on players that don't have a clear defined role? I didn't. And for example, a player like Jawan Jennings, I spent a lot of fab on. I think some may say it's an overpay, but I think he's a proven player in that offense. And Kyle Shanahan is a coach that he needs to trust his players to play them. And if he trusts it, you're going to get a lot of workload. And he's proven that as a wide receiver three, he's been able to do that on that team. So now that he's bumped up to wide receiver two, I think the trust from the coaching side and the scheming is going to be there. The volume is not going to be there. So it's mainly looking at players in situations that truly have a role to impact the team versus names that are cool names. Might be a diss, but like Dalvin Cook. Oh, like he used to be just so good, but is he really gonna get on the field? Like realistically, probably not. So it's kind of it's fantasy is it's a jungle. There's a lot of people out there, a lot of things out there trying to trick you. You got to pick through the weeds and look for what you think is right and what you think is maybe false information.
I've got one more question. On Sunday, the manager of Team Code Monkey was celebrating likely winning a second game in a row, which he did. And you replied to him, wait till you get exposed, see what happens. And then that Code Monkey's owner replied, "Shut up, B word." And then you replied, "No, you shut up." Is there any animosity between you and the Code Monkey owner?
I believe you misquoted me. I said no, you shut up, B word. I'd say there's a healthy rivalry there. Us Telugus, we like to banter. Us Saudis, we like to banter. We like to talk shit. It's all fun and games, though. At the end of the day, I don't hate you. You're a good dude. You can say that. But I mean, it makes the league more fun. Talking shit, having fun like that. Let's see. It might lead to a rivalry. We're both 2-0 right now. Maybe down the line in the playoffs, we'll see each other. That's probably unlikely for your trash ass, but if we do play, it's gonna be fireworks. We'll just say that.
All right, it's noted, young man. Thank you.
All right, Joseph, you have a question?
A question, just a comment.
Right.
You want to trade Montgomery? Question mark.
Let's just say I got offered a heinous trade for David Montgomery. It was so heinous that even ESPN thought it was bad, so that's how you know it was a bad trade.
I'll just say the source
I
told
ain't no
me
fool. All right.
the sources told me that it was not that bad.
What was your source, bro? Freaking TikTok or some shit? Like, come on, man. What are we
Source
doing?
was the homeless guy on the way to work.
Was it Ankit's old model? That's probably what it was.
No, it was my old model. I'm sorry.
Man, but I mean, like I said, I mean, there's no reason to rest on your laurels. It's only been 2 weeks, and I might be 2-0. This kind of leads me to what I wanted to say at the end. I'm 2-0. I was ranked number 2 in the power rankings, obviously really close to being number 1. But I mean, I could just as easily be 0-2 right now. Like I got lucky with the Christian McCaffrey injury on Monday night, like surprise injury week 1 against Sam, and that kind of won me the week. And then last week, I mean, come on, like, let's talk about the bad fantasy management. JJ Phoenix Rising, Kirk Broadbell played Alan Lazard in Big 2024, Alan Lazard. And instead, if he played Rashid Shaheed, who had a great showing the previous week, he would have beat me that week. So I mean, it's a game of swings. I'm not gonna get too high, I'm not gonna get too low. I got to keep my head straight. It's really an emotional game, but if you take out the emotions out of fantasy football, that's how you really ensure success in this. So that's how I'm coming. That's how I'm coming forward this season. I'm gonna try to keep my head straight, head down.
Sorry.
I'm coming, baby. I'm coming.
All right, final question. Next week you play London is Red, who are 0-2. Their morale is pretty low right now. What are your feelings going into that game?
Listen, this is the NFL, or like fantasy football, essentially an extension of the NFL. The lines may be the lines. We have seen upsets that no one would ever think would happen. I mean, I remember last week, I played Alvin last year. Sorry, I played Alvin week 1. I was like a 20-point underdog, and like I just banked Alvin. Like there was no shot I should have won. So all I'm gonna say is London is Red. He has a solid team. He's suffering from injury, but they have some really good matchups going forward. And listen, I know their morale is low, but damn it, they've been horrible the last few years.
Hey man, I heard they made the playoffs in 2022 though. I heard they made the playoffs in 2022 though. But yeah, that's only 2 years ago. But yeah, those are all the questions. I think those are all the questions for you. But
I got a quick one.
All right.
Yeah. I just want to ask if you're at all concerned about this injury news regarding Nico Collins. He didn't practice today. there was no indication of anything wrong during the game. So this just came out, I think, like 3 hours ago. So yeah, just want to get your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I'm not too worried, honestly. He had a lot of work. And it was a Sunday night game, so I mean it was pretty late in this slate. I'm sure like he was getting really physical in that game. I mean Chicago's really good defense. But I'm not super worried. I'm pretty sure that they're just being precautionary about it. I mean I haven't really heard anything crazy about it. So um and I mean in the game nothing really happened. So I think it's more precautionary really than anything. But I mean it is a good point and definitely something to keep looking into to make sure nothing tragic happens there. So
All right, that's actually a really good question, Carter. But I think those are all the questions for you. Thank you for being on here, and I can't really say good luck to you next week, but
yeah.
hopefully we'll have a good matchup. But yeah,
One thing I want to say before I hop off. Kerry Bengals Fantasy Football League has something exciting coming in the near future. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't want to spoil anything, but fans of Kerry Bengals Football League, wherever you guys are, stay tuned. We have something big coming. That's all I'm gonna say.
It's
And
just
it's
us.
not Joseph getting a boyfriend.
all right, we'll put Kirk.
We already have one.
Oh, my bad.
All right, let me pull up your matchup.
What's up? What's up?
All right, Kirk. Last week you lost to I Cook Brown Rice from a score of 129 to 117. You are 0-2, but if you just look at the points that you've scored this year, like you scored the fourth most points in the league, and you've just been really unlucky. Do you think your luck will change going into the future?
Honestly, I thought I was like kind of feeling my luck would run out, to be honest. Or you know, I think the biggest thing was just me thinking about what wide receiver to play last week. I know like Revanth already clowned my bitch ass for playing like Alan Lazard. When like Rashid Shaheed like was popping off, but I think the biggest thing from the draft to note this year was why the hell did I take Travis Kelce second when bro is putting up 1 point a week? I think that was pretty fucking bad. Part of my language there, but this is a family show, I think.
Yeah, well, yeah, you're probably gonna get a fine your way, but it's okay. Uh, any questions for Kirk?
Yeah, I got one. I'll start. So Kirk, I wanted to ask. Obviously only week two. But do you like when you go to bed every night, just knowing that um not only are you the worst white boy in the league right now, but you're also the worst Capital One employee?
Oh no, fuck.
How does that make you feel? Like, how are you able to sleep? Like, do you sleep okay? Do you wake up in the middle of the night? Does any of this bother you?
No, that actually hurts me to the core. Not so much like I don't care about like the white like person thing, like me and Carter, like there's no beef like at all there. But between me and the manager of Code Monkeys, like if I lose to him, I'm gonna be pissed. I'm literally like at work. If I see him, it's on site. It's on site. Like I just cannot deal with losing to this man. I mean, I'm just riled up. Like my heart is pounding right now.
Can you go further into like why you want to beat Code Monkey so bad? You play in week 3. I just want to hear more.
He's just been bottom of it. Just feels like he was bottom of every season. Like every season I've seen him play, it's been like he's always in 11th, 12th place. He was fucking up on his like punishment last year. Like in the spirit, like I feel like everyone gives their hearts into this league. They